keep the same energy. Work on being better when I'm 70. Your drip is just a water spring. You know I drip different, just the 7 C's. I deal with life different, make that lemon squeeze. Went off for my style and identity. Better bounce back and get the cheddar cheese. I guess that's why they envy me. On track, now we gon' way up. W's as easy as a layup. Working late, stay up. Counting all the way up. Counting blessings, yeah, you know we pray up. Way up, pray up. On track, now we gon' way up. Now we gon' way up. Now we going on track, now we gon' way up. Now we gon' way up. Now we going. I got his band like I'm Barry Bonds. Running through the money, but the money's long. I don't love it, but I need it, keep it coming on. Only friendly, me and friends, we don't get along.
Need no help, that's all me. Could've went to jail or the army. Remember when they didn't wanna call me. Now I can't keep it, that's all me. Need no help, that's all me. Could've went to jail or the army. Remember when they didn't wanna call me. Should've seen a look when they saw me. Need no help, that's all me. Could've went to jail or the army. Remember when they didn't wanna call me. Now I can't keep it, that's all me. Need no help, that's all me. Could've went to jail or the army. Remember when they didn't.
Welcome back to another episode of Paradigm Shift TV 314. Man, today I think I got a good conversation for y'all, my brothers, man. We got Anoop Kakarot in the building, you know what I'm saying? And for y'all who follow the back chat and for y'all who follow him, for a minute now, he's been having this concept of the God being light, not just him and some of his other brothers as well. And they've been promoting this concept. And, you know, I like the concept, and I really want to get a better understanding of the concept. So me and my brother got together, and we decided to go on and do this show, man. So without further ado, I just want to ask, how you doing tonight, my brother?
I'm all good, brother. I'm all good. Peace and love to you, man. Prosperity to your family, bro.
Peace and love to you, my brother, man. I really appreciate the kind words, bro. So we ain't gonna keep the people waiting, my brother. I know you don't have too much time to spend, so we're gonna try to get it in within your time limit, bro. Can you explain the God is light concept to me?
Yeah.
And don't forget, I'm not the sharpest knife in the book, man. So you know, kind of break it down on my level. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. Yeah. So this is a very easy concept. Right. Okay. So God is light. God is light came about because I was in the back chats in the Lions Den, and all they did was talk about God. All they did was basically debate God all day. And so I wanted to debate too, but I'm not really a religious person. So I needed something to combat them with. So God is light kind of manifested out of that, where I thought I was just coming up with a clever innuendo. You know what I'm saying? Right, I thought I was coming up with something clever to just, you know, mess with their heads. Come to find out, this shit I was brewing up was actually actual factual. Like this stuff was real. And then it started manifesting in front of us. And like at first we were just playing around with the concept, you know, but then I looked in the Bible, boom, it says God is light. Says it throughout the book. I had a bunch of people trying to tell me, oh, well, that ain't what it means. I'm telling them like, hey, the book say don't add or take away. I'm not doing that. I'll leave that shit up to y'all to add and take away, give meanings to shit that it don't say. I'm not doing it. It says God is a sun and shield. Now, religious people will try to rationalize that away as if the word S-U-N don't mean S-U-N, right? I'm not here to argue with nobody if S-U-N means S-U-N. It says God is a sun. I'm taking it literal for what it is. It says God is light. I'm taking it literal for what it is. I don't give a shit about their philosophy. I don't give a damn about they ideologies about, they talking about knowledge. I don't give a damn about that. I care about the fact that it say God is light. And then when I go study light, I started to find out how much parallel was coinciding with the humanity's example of what God is. And then that's when it dawned on me, like, oh my God, this is a more of a revelation than anything I've actually read in this book. So I'm gonna give you an example of what I'm talking about. When it says God is a sun and a shield, well, so I went and studied the sun. Then I found out there's this thing called the heliosphere, which actually that the sun radiation actually acts as a protective shield around our entire solar system, and it keeps our outside cosmic forces and radiation from going into our solar system. So I thought, like, wow, maybe that's just a coincidence. You know what I'm saying? That the sun is a shield, but the Bible says God is a sun and a shield. But then when I read science is reconfirming what the fuck the book's saying. So I'm like, wow, this is amazing. So it says, God is light, and in him there is no darkness. Guess what? There's no darkness in light. There's no darkness inside of light. There's no darkness in light. So again, here's the book confirming what science say, and science confirming what the book say. So when I go further into the definition of God and understanding what God is, we come up to a certain key factors. God is omnipresent, God's omnipotent, God's omniscient, and God is omnipresent. Meaning God is in all places at one time. He's in everybody and everything. God is in all places at one time. God is all powerful, and God has all knowledge. So these are the three main aspects that I was looking for to confirm what this God thing is. So once I found out that light is all throughout the universe, in every fucking aspect of the universe, there's light. There's light every fucking where. There's no place where you can go where light is not shining. And I'm not talking about visible light. I'm talking about gamma rays, X-rays, ultraviolet rays, infrared, radio, microwave. I'm talking about that light. Right. Though that light is light that we can't see because our eyes are not adjusted to see that type of light. So that means it's a whole world and dimension that's going on around us all at one time that we are not aware of. This coincides with all of the religions of the world is saying that there's another world and there's other dimensions and worlds on top of this world. You see what I'm saying? And they exist in a different spectrum of the light that we can't see. You see what I'm saying? So and then it's like the more you start going off into this, you start seeing that, hey, it's aspects of God that we just don't understand. There's just certain things about God we just don't understand. And the portion that we do understand about God is very minuscule. So then when I looked at the electromagnetic spectrum, I noticed that when it comes to visible light barely makes up 1% of the actual spectrum. So this itty bitty little sliver of fucking spectrum that we see and we witness and experience every single day is our entire reality. It's our entire reality. So it started making me think more like, well, damn. Well, well, maybe light isn't in anything. So I started studying particle science. Once I started studying particle science and I completely understood the relationship between electrons and atoms and how electrons use photonic light to feed the nucleus of an atom. And this is the reason why we have matter. Once I learned that shit, I was like, wow, light is in every single person. It's in every single thing that's manifested. It's all there. Light is in all of this shit. So I tracked down God in everything, in everybody. And on top of that, he's everywhere. The only thing that was left was all powerful. So I searched and I searched and I searched for any other thing that is more powerful than electromagnetism. And when I tell you I couldn't find it, I could not find not one thing, nothing that came anything close to the level of power that comes out of electromagnetism, and you know that bleeds off into like using lasers and sound and stuff like that to like heal the human body.
Right, right. But before we get into the lasers and the sounds
Right.
and healing the human body, I heard the interview that y'all did the other day, you know, on the show, and how y'all and how I think it was you, how you was explaining how in the brain, you know, like we can't have thoughts or going all the way back to the Big Bang. That bang could have never happened without electromagnetism, you know, that being the source of the spark that was sparked, you know, all that to even take place in the first place, right? So I believe that that's scientific. Well, I'm gonna say I know that that's scientific, and I don't have any issue with nothing that you said. Well, with a lot of what you said tonight, and nothing that y'all said in the show. The only pushback that I would have, because you know I'm a Christian, I'm one of those religious people that you talk about. I'm not a Hebrew Israelite and JJ 7000 and all them people. No disrespect to them brothers. Matter of fact, shout out to them. But I'm just a simple minister Christian, you know, regular Christian brother or whatever. So my only pushback to what you said tonight and what some of y'all said on the video was the way that the Bible explains it. You know, the Bible does say that God is light and God is a shield, but first off, we have to realize what book that is in. You know, it's in the book of Psalms, you know, and the book of Psalms is more of a poetry book, wisdom ways of living that's not unique to the Bible. It's just something that's true throughout every era of mankind. But when it comes to the biblical text and when it says that God is a sun and God is a shield, it's the part of him being a son is talking about, you know, and I just want you to feel me for a second. Coming from how we teach it is what I'm saying. Coming from the orthodox way of this verse. It's saying that God is enlightened. You know, God is able to enlighten us with the enlightening that he has. Not that God is the physical sun, because we know that in Genesis it talks about God creating the sun. So since God is an eternal being, and we know that the universe is not eternal, then according to the Bible, according to the Bible, God cannot be the sun, since the sun would be a part of creation. You know what I'm saying? And when it comes to the shield part, you know, the shield is just saying, you know how Christians we teach, you know, oh, God gonna protect us and God gonna look out for us and all. That's where the shield part comes in at. You know, it's talking about that. So when we put those things together and Psalms 84 is saying that God will enlighten us, and through that enlightenment, God will protect us, as you know, people who believe in him and all that. And since it was written in the Old Testament, of course, you know, at this time, by the time the book of Psalms came, it was talking to Israel, you know. So I just wanted to throw that out there and see what would be your pushback on what I just stated.
Do you believe in the word of God?
I'm a fool. Every last word of it, my brother.
Okay, the word of God tell you don't take away, don't add to. So the book don't say God is light, but not the light you talking about. It don't say that. It don't say God is the sun, but not the sun you talking about. It don't say that.
Right.
So I'm not going to add that connotation to it. I'm just taking it literal as it's saying. Just like when they say Jesus walked across water, you got to take that literal. He walked across water.
Right.
It didn't say, oh, Jesus walk across water, but that's a metaphor for, you know, walking on top of your troubles. It don't say that.
Right.
When it says Noah created the ark and the animals boarded the ark, they're talking literal. They're not. It's not a metaphor.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So it's like a lot of theologians have a problem with adding connotation and denotations to things when it's already stepped on. It's already tainted. It's already stepped on because it's not the original language. So when we go into transliterations, this is where the misinterpretations come from. So when I read the Bible, Jesus tells us not to even listen to the Pharisees, Sadducees, and scribes. But these are the same people who wrote the book and gave us our understanding of our relationship with God. So I can't take their word for it. I have to go off the human experience that I've experienced in my time here and our time here as humanity, as a species. So when you read Genesis 1, you read God said, "Let there be." Well, "let there be" in Hebrew is Haya, which is literally God's name. So God saying, "Let there be light" is a self-realization. That's self-realization, God realizing self. You see what I'm saying? And according to God's laws, and this is what I was trying to explain to people in the back chat, is God is not going to go outside of its own laws. It's going to follow its own laws because that's the way it was created. You know what I'm saying? To have order. So why would the person or the being or the entity who is creating order be in disorder? He wouldn't be in disorder. He would be in the order of everything else in the universe, from the hierarchy to down to the lowest protoplasma. You see what I'm saying? So the Bible tells you that all things, it didn't say some things, it didn't say God things, manly things. It said all things beget of themselves. All things beget of themselves. So the first thing God created was light. So God is light because that was the first thing God created. And from light, everything else manifested. So I look at that scripture as being I can't really call it allegory because I got to take it for what it says. But at the same time, I got to realize the people who telling me this shit are the same people who I was instructed not to listen to.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Let me ask you this. But would you agree that the Bible does have allegories and metaphors?
Does the Bible have allegories and metaphors? I'm gonna have to go with yes, it does. I'm gonna have to go with yes, it does. But I'm not in the habit of trying to correct the word of God.
Okay, right. And I'm gonna ask. I asked you that because the verse that we're reading from, that we started out from, with God is a sun and a shield. The way that we know that that's a metaphor and that we're not speculating if it's a metaphor or not is because of the language of the book that it's written in. And you agreed that the book of Psalms is poetry, right? So, and we know,
that's what they call it. The book,
right, right, and when we start off chapter 84, chapter 84 starts with "Let the choir sing this song." So not only is it a poem, it's also musical literature, right? I'm talking about this is according to the text itself, right? So when we get to the part about God being a sun and a shield, we're not imposing our view on the text. We're reading it according to the book, according to the instructions of the book, the way that it was written. Now, what you said about
whose instructions?
As long if you don't mind me asking, how old are you, bro?
41.
Okay, I'm 36. The same Bible that you read is the same Bible that I've been reading, and it's also the same Bible that anybody who's alive today been reading. So none of us gets to dictate what was written before any of us was born. So we have to take it off. We would have to take our understanding off the people that was before us, and since before you or I was even born, and even the people before that, you know, this book was already written. So for it to have the commentaries and the breakdowns that it already have before you and I even get a hold of it, it would be kind of disingenuous for us to say, well, hey, these people have some kind of agenda, when the people who we know today that are against us in the world and all that, they weren't even alive back then, you know?
Right. Say, and the problem is that in the book, not in this time, but in the book, Jesus was telling them not to listen to them niggas. Even back then.
I want to touch on that too. Jesus, the part of the New Testament that you're talking about, where Jesus was getting on the Pharisees, which he did that a lot, and you're right, he got on them more than anybody else. But he told the people who was following the Pharisees, listen to what they say, but do not do what they do.
Right.
You hear them? Yeah. So he didn't say don't listen to him, because he agreed that the people who was put in place to teach the law and do the law, they was teaching it, but they wasn't abiding by it though. They was doing total opposite of what they was reading in the synagogues every Saturday, you know?
Yeah, that makes sense, because when he was talking to them and he was telling them like, hey, you people, you ones who are the masters of the law and claim that you had like this monopoly on the law,
right.
y'all don't follow this stuff.
I don't follow it. There you go. Right, there you go. Yeah.
And you are supposed to listen. A wise man listens. Mm-hmm. So yes, you're supposed to listen to him. But that doesn't mean that you're supposed to cast your blind faith on what they're talking about, because these people are still swindlers. Right. You see what I'm saying? And then
and they're still human.
Yeah, they're human. And he even tells you not to call an earthly being your father, because we all have one father. You see what I'm saying? But but these theologians, they call themselves rabbis, they call themselves this, that, and the other. Rabbi is another name for father.
Right.
When you go into the church, what they call the church leaders, fathers. You see what I'm saying? And the book tells you against that type of stuff. So with that being said, I cannot completely follow what theologians, Pharisees, Sadducees, and scribes talking about. And like I said, this right now we just dealing with the biblical aspect of this, because I could take the Bible and just throw that away and don't use the Bible. I could use the Quran.
Right.
I could take the Quran off the table and don't use the Quran. I could just use the Bhagavad Gita, or I could use the I Ching, or I could just keep on going through all the different religions in the world, and we're gonna see that the majority of these religions were sun worshipers beforehand. They were all sun worshipers. So
if you threw all of those authorities away, let's just say all of them, not just the Bible, the Bible, Quran, Hinduism, whatever. So if you threw, if we threw all of those ancient commentaries away, then how could you and I even come to a conclusion on what the truth is according to God is light, if we don't even have authorities before you and I saying the same thing?
Because the real authority is up in the sky when you wake up every morning. Because you know, just like I know, without that sun shining, we don't have photosynthesis, and we know that life on this planet will become very dismal if we did not have light. We know in 2021, even without the religious books, just with the science that man knows now, we know that all things are created with atoms. Right. Electrons, protons, and neutrons. We know this for a fact, and we know that light is what's pushing and governing evolution. So even without the Bible, God is still light, and electromagnetism is still the most powerful force in the universe. So you know what I'm saying? It's a reason why all of the ancients, all of them looked at the sun as being deity. It's a reason why. It's because it's the life giver, and there's no way around it. There's nothing else to compare God to.
Would you say not light, but the sun itself? Would you say the sun is more of a sustainer of life rather than the life giver?
Well, the one thing I try to explain to people is do not go off into the realm of worshiping the sun, because I don't advocate for worship of anything. I don't suggest to people to worship the sun, because again, all light does not come from the sun.
Right.
They have what you call a microwave background, and it's everywhere, all over the universe. So all light does not necessarily come from the sun. So I'm not saying that the sun is God. I'm saying light itself is God. Electromagnetism is God, and it is the catalyst to all life on the planet.
Okay. Let me ask you this then. Okay. So science also says that there was a point in time when the universe didn't exist at all. So that would be considered that outer darkness. So where is the electromagnetism in that?
Well, this is how I rationalize that. First, there's no such thing as nothing. That shit's a myth. There's no fucking such thing. There's no such thing as nothing.
Right.
So there's always been something. Regardless if that something is something that we just don't understand, there's always been something.
Right.
I don't believe in the beginning of the universe. I believe the beginning and the end is the same point. So there is no.
Explain that to me.
Okay, so when you took your first breath, right? When was your actual first breath?
Yeah, I couldn't tell you. I don't know.
Yeah, that's my whole point. That's my whole point. You were breathing when you were in your mother's stomach.
Right.
Okay, you used to exist inside of your mother's eggs, and she was breathing. And your mother was existing inside of her father's sperm and her mother's egg before you was born, and they was breathing.
But what about the part? Let's say when we're talking about a woman being pregnant, and I do understand that when a baby develops, the mother breathes for you until you able to conceive and stuff. But what about Christians are against abortion, and we say that even though the baby in your stomach is not breathing, it's still a human once they can detect a heartbeat. So when your baby has a heartbeat, it don't have nostrils even to hook up to or any of that. So you're not breathing, but you're still alive because it's being able to be detected. How would you address that? You
might not be breathing in the sense that we breathing right now, but you most definitely absorbing oxygen.
Okay. Go ahead. Okay. Go ahead.
So you know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna go back to what I was just saying about as far as you being in your mother's womb. Okay, that process goes all the way back to when we were protoplasma. And even before protoplasma, we were something else doing the same exact thing, as above, so below. So there is no beginning, there is no end. There is a time when things incubate. There's a time when things come into the manifest. There's a time when things contract back to where it comes from, and the process starts over again.
Okay, hold on. So if I could get what you're saying, it never was a time where I didn't exist because I existed in my father, or mother, or your father, and he existed in his father, and so on, so forth, so on to the first. Okay, I got you. Go ahead. I got you.
Right. So people always be like, "Oh, this is my birthday." No, everybody has the same birthday. Everybody. We all think because we see the sun go up and the sun go down that that's a day, but the truth is the sun has not changed. It's the same sun that's been burning for millions, if not billions of years. It's the same exact sun. This is the same exact day that when it first started. The first Big Bang, or the so-called Big Bang, that is the same event that's happening right now that we're living in. That shit has not ended. You see what I'm saying? So the beginning and the end is the same point. You know what I'm saying? And this is what they mean by he's the Alpha and Omega. That's because he's the beginning and the end. That beginning and the end has the same starting point, the same starting and end point. And we have a saying in the occult where we say, one day the seeker will become the one sought after. One day the seeker will become the one sought after. So when you go down this journey, one day you're going to find out that you are the Sum Dum Goy. You are the master that you've been looking for. You see what I'm saying? And this same concept is in the book. It tells you, Psalms 82:6, it tells you, we are all gods. We are children of the Most High. We shall die like mere men of the earth, and princes of the earth. Rise, O gods, and judge the earth, for the earth is your inheritance, right? So it's talking about us being gods. They're literally talking about us being gods. If you
I got some pushback on that specific part.
Okay, if you a child of God, at some point in time, you're gonna grow up and be an adult. So at some point in time, you're supposed to go into your godhood. This is the reason why they took all of the different books and all of the mystery and the mystic stuff out of the book, is so you could not find that path directly to God, because if you did, you would find out, damn, I never needed a pastor. I never needed a sheik. I never needed a rabbi or imam. You would find that out, and then now all of a sudden they don't have no power over you, because all of this stuff is really about power and control.
What do you identify as? I mean, I know you're not a Christian or a Muslim,
right,
so
right.
What would you identify as?
What, somebody like as far as religiously?
I mean, whichever way, atheist, whatever.
No, yeah, I don't subscribe to any one religion at all, because I feel like that's man's politics at work. That's not divine at all. That's man's politics.
So if there was a category, based off the categories that are known, if there was a category that you would most likely fit in, which one would that be?
If I had to pick which religion I would be mostly closely related to, will probably be some mixture between Buddhism and Scientology.
Okay. So if that was the mixture that you would fit under, what would be your overall goal? In other words, like, what would be your overall message for people to obtain?
Mastery of your emotions, mastery of the self inside of this construct that we live in. It'll always come down to the mastery of your emotions. When you don't control your emotions and your emotions control you, you are not in control. You are not in control. You do not have power over the vessel. The vessel has power over you. When you could become so angry that you slaughter hundreds of people because you're angry and you're emotional, that right there shows the lack of control and the lack of compassion. You know what I'm saying? Like, I believe that we're supposed to have compassion and empathy for things, but we're not supposed to be attached to them. I don't believe we're supposed to have these attachments that, like, we create all of these attachments, and this is where the pain in the world comes from, is from our attachment, our emotional attachments to people, places, things, and ideas.
Right.
If you didn't have no emotional attachment to those things, people couldn't say shit like, fuck Abraham, and that shit pisses you out. That wouldn't piss you out because you wouldn't have no emotional attachment to no damn Abraham. You wouldn't have emotional attachment to Allah, because all of those things are people, places, things, and ideas, and you're not supposed to have no emotional attachment to it. That's why even in the Bible it tells you that you're in the world, you're not of the world.
Of the world, yeah. And it literally tells you, don't follow your emotions.
And then don't follow your emotions, because your emotions can lead you down the wrong road. And I have a saying where I tell people, listen, don't make decisions when you're happy or sad. Because when usually when you make a decision while you're happy, you tend to end up regretting that decision.
Right.
You don't make decisions when you're angry, because you usually end up suffering from that decision that you made while you was in a temporary state of anger.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So I'm really about psychology and really mastering the human emotions and stuff like that. Like that right there is the whole point and premise behind spirituality.
Okay, I can see why you brought up. Well, of course, I can see why you brought up Scientology for science itself. After you just said what you said, I could also see why you brought up Buddhism, because in Buddhism they teach above all peace. Just peace. And like you said, when it comes to emotion, that's one of the major reasons why we don't have peace in the world today. So let me ask you this: if everything that you just said, right? Knowing that you're not going to be here forever, so if you were to write it down, and then I were to pick it up, and I were to believe it, and then I was to give it to my son, and then him to his son and his friends, and wouldn't that become a religion? Because, I mean,
it become a religion if it will become a religion if you decide to go on some type of jihad campaign and whack other people because they don't believe in the same thing. Yeah, become a religion when you start shunning other people because they don't believe in what you believe. Yeah, it's a religion. Spirituality connects you with all of nature. It connects you with all. It connects you with all of nature, and you realize that you are just one being. Like, let me give you an example.
Yeah.
When people talk about man and woman, they talk about man and woman as if we are 7 billion individuals. And I know it seems like that. I know it seems like we 7 billion individuals, but we really are one individual. We're one. Humanity is one. There's one humanity. And that's all the way around the board. Now, I know you got some people that's racist and be like, no, white people ain't this. White people are humans.
Yeah, like everybody else. Right.
They weren't human, we wouldn't be able to breed with them.
Right. There you go. There you go.
So we are one humanity. You know what I'm saying? So what one human goes through, we all go through that shit. You might not go through it in this lifetime, but you're gonna go through the exact same thing that every other human has been through. You know what I'm saying?
You believe in the afterlife? Since you said not this lifetime, you believe it's another lifetime?
I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. You are not gonna like my aspect on the afterlife.
Oh no, I ain't got no issue. I'm learning. I'm learning, bro. I'm learning.
Okay, so my ideology about the afterlife: when you die and your body rot, you are gonna go back into the realm of atoms and molecules. Okay. This is a state of being where you are all places at one time. You're in every single place at one time. And all it takes is a spark of intention to send you anywhere in the universe, anywhere. So when you die, if you believe in heaven or hell, that's what you're destined for, heaven or hell, based on your own beliefs and your own manifestations.
So it's subjective.
Yeah, of course it is. Like let me give you a reason why I say it's subjective. Okay. Because when they talk about heaven, they talk, oh, it's streets paved with gold. The gates got rubies, diamonds, and gems and shit all in it. They got mansions, and you're gonna fly around in white linen and wings and shit. Like this is the narrative they paint you. But what does gold mean in heaven? Nothing.
Right.
It don't mean shit. There's no monetary value. There's no monetary value.
Not to cut your wisdom. One of the reasons why the Bible talk about the streets being paved with gold is for the exact reason that you just said. People value gold so much, they put it on their head, they jewelry, they rings. But then the Bible is telling you that gold is going to be so meaningless that we're going to walk on it. But continue.
Yeah. So they telling those people the streets are paved with gold, and they're gonna get mansions and shit because heaven is a poor man's dream. It's a poor man's dream. This is the reason why the book tells you that it's hard for a rich man to get into heaven. That's because he's already living a life. He's already living in paradise. So heaven is really a construct for poor motherfuckers who ain't never had shit. Ain't never had nothing. This is the reason why they got you looking into the great by and by instead of grinding your ass off and working hard in this lifetime to produce what it is that you need and you want. So they will molest you. They will pillage and plunder you the whole time while you being a pacifist. This whole time while you being a pacifist, doing what you believe God wants you to do. And the whole time, they just basically taking you for what you worth. God, there's no monetary value in heaven. So who gives a shit what the fuck is on the damn gates? Who cares what's on the ground? No one. That's why the shit on the ground. You see what I'm saying? So that's a carnal thought. And you can only entice a broke ass nigga with some shit like that. You can't entice a nigga like Michael Jordan or Michael Jackson or somebody like that with thoughts of heaven because they already live in heaven. They already got gold spout toilets and shit. They already got that. They already got marble everywhere. So that you can't entice them with that type of shit. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, once I start understanding about atoms and protons and neutrons, what happens to your body when you die? The shit breaks down into minerals and liquids. And guess what? The plants eat you. The plants suck you up and eat you. And then the animals come, the same animals that we used to eat and prey on, turns around and eat those plants. And then some human comes around and eat those animals that ate the plants. It's a continuous cycle over and over and over again, and we just not paying attention to the cycles. The same life cycle of a star is the same life cycle of a human. It's the same exact thing. It's just done on two totally different scales in two totally different states, but it's the exact same thing. Atoms, solar systems, molecules, galaxies, all of that stuff is the same shit. One is in the micro, one is in the macro. This is the universal truth. This is the universal truth of all truth. We existed in this one reality. We all experience in this one reality. There's no person on this planet that's experiencing a different reality than you right now. No one. We all experiencing the same shit. When the sun outside, we all feel the heat. When it's cold outside, we all feel the cold. You understand what I'm saying? So we have to get away from this individualistic mind frame where we think we are outside of the creation and outside of the creator. Why do we keep thinking that if the creator is inside of us, why do we keep on trying to separate ourselves from everything else that's in this reality? I don't understand it. So my whole point is to get our people into a more scientific mind frame than one of a religious mind frame. Now, when we employed technology and innovation, we ruled the world. We ruled the world like that. The minute we put that down and we started going into this dogmatic religion, we failed, and we have not regained traction since then. So logic is telling me that religion is our main problem. Not the fact that you have religion, but the fact that religion is more important than every single thing else, you know what I'm saying, in this world. That's what happened to the Africans. They got beat up because they was too spiritual, that they was no earthly good. The Native Americans, they got beat up for the same reasons, because they so spiritual that you can't see the devil when you're right in front of your face. This is, you know what I'm saying? Like, at some point in time, we're gonna have to step back and look like, okay, what are we gonna have to do to get out of this situation? Well, you're gonna have to do something that you ain't never done before, which is get your ass back into math, get your ass back into science, get your ass back into agriculture, and start producing. The Bible says, lazy hands make a man poor.
If a man don't work, he don't eat.
It says, lazy hands make a man poor. So therefore, if we're not manufacturing things, if we're not in the service to man, then we are going to be poor. Now look at the state we in. Be poor.
But wouldn't you agree, when our people ran the world with modern technology of that time, they were still religious? Would you agree with that?
I believe that they were religious, but it was a balance at that time. It was a balance. Like, they didn't have no problem with understanding scientific thought patterns and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? It's when religion just takes completely over. You know what I'm saying? This is the reason why they separated church and state to begin with.
Yeah, I mean, but that's just in America. That's not everywhere. You know, that's just in America, and they didn't separate church and state for a bad reason. They separated church and state so that you could believe whatever you want to believe and whatever you want to believe and not go to jail for it. You know that.
No doubt. And
I want to say this. Even though there are religions older than Christianity, when it comes to Christianity and how you just brought up education, as in math and science and also agriculture, Christianity invented public schooling. You know, Christianity invented public hospitals.
They invented science.
Right. Well, I wouldn't say invented science, but I would agree with you that modern science, modern science, Christians are the biggest component. And what I mean by that is some of the first and second laws of different science methods, Christians are the inventors of that. So I would 100% agree with you on that. But to make my point, what you said about education and how it coincides with religion, coming from a Christian historical point of view, Christians, even though they were religious, they felt so strong about what you just said about education that they said that, hey, education should not only be allowed to rich people and people who got it. Education should be allowed to everybody, and that's including math and science and the things that you listed. So,
right.
So my pushback against not everything you said, but on the religion and the math part, coming from a Christian standpoint, you know, love your neighbor, be fair, be equal. If I'm a Christian man and I got $1,000,000, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I want everybody to be equal with me, then my first thing would be, well, hey, let me open up a school. Let me open up a hospital where you don't have to pay in order to get educated on math or science.
Right.
You should have the same access to this math book and this science book as the people who came to conquer you in Africa or in you know what I'm saying? So I just want to throw that out there. But go ahead, my bro.
So let me throw this at you. Can you name just 3 countries off the top of the head that has religion at the helm and they winning? They're leading.
America?
No, science and war leads America.
Now, America. Well, I'm not going to say the most religious because I believe that that's Africa and like places like India. America foundation is built on the Bible. All of it.
No, it's not.
Yeah,
That's a lie that they've been telling us. Those original 4 founders were Masons. They didn't give a damn about Christianity.
Right. But don't forget, to be a Mason don't mean that you can't believe in God.
No doubt.
You can be a Christian, Buddhist, Muslim, or whatever you want to be.
No doubt.
In fact, my grandmother was a Mason. You can't be a Mason and be an atheist. You have to believe in something. And just to get on level one.
I'm hip. I'm just saying that they the original 4 founding fathers, some of them were behind the closed doors. They were Muslims. So they and I'm with you on this though. Even though you have to believe in something to be a Mason, I don't support Masons at all. But go ahead. Oh well, I don't mind Masonry. Like I ain't got no problem with that institution. So my thing is like this, right? So when we look at the countries or the nations that are leading in everything right now, none of those countries have religion at the helm of presidency or as the king or any of that shit. Like none of them.
Which countries are you referring to, your mommy?
Well, of course, you know, when I'm talking about, I'm referring to the powers that be right now. You got the United States, you got Russia, you got China, you got Japan, you got India.
You name the top 3 though. You name the top 3. Russia, China, and America, all the top 3.
Yeah, they're the top 3. And you know, and after that, you know, you got places like India, you know what I'm saying? And all of these places employ more science than they do religion. All of them. Like even in China, they kicking motherfuckers. They closing down. Yeah, they closing down churches and mosques and the whole 9 yards. Like they're not fucking around.
No, China is probably the most irreligious place on earth right now. I think they only got like, I know it's only like 1% Christian. I don't know what the other percentage is.
Like they're not playing that shit. And then I want you to see the progress that China has made in 50 fucking years.
China number 1. Number one. Yeah, they number 1.
And Russia was leading the fucking world in fucking science for decades.
Weaponry. Now, Russia is religious. America is religious. But the number 1 though, China, they not too religious. You're right.
America and Russia likes to play like they religious.
Right, I agree.
They're not. Them motherfuckers not religious. Like you.
At the top, you not. I agree. At the top, yeah.
Look. I seen a post where they had the Pope blessing a bunch of armament and munitions, and I'm like,
right.
Nigga, ain't you supposed to be the man of God? Ain't you supposed to be about peace and shit?
Don't even let me get into that. Say, bro, not to cut your wisdom real quick, but we just had a brother to jump on with you and I. If you don't mind for a second, I want to
no
doubt. Before I do that, everybody, look at how me and Anu Kaktarat is conversating right now. I'm a believer, he not a believer. We have our opposing views. We got pushback. Look at how we having a grown man civil conversation. Ain't nobody talking about nobody. Mamas, daddies, we ain't cussing each other out. We ain't like, come on, y'all, grow up, man. Like, get to this level, please. Please get to this level. Google Scholar, take yourself off mute, my brother. What's up with it, man? What's going on with you tonight?
Peace. I was just listening. I don't have anything to contribute really. I just wanted to hear what y'all were talking about.
All right. I'm gonna give the floor back to Anu, but I just want to catch you up real quick. We started the show off talking about God is light, and I was just getting into his mind on why he feels that way and things like that. And you know, he's broke down why he feels that way. I've agreed with him on certain points. I've disagreed with him on certain points, and we've just been flowing ever since then, my brother.
Oh, okay. All right, that's cool. I'll listen up if I hear something. Maybe I'll chime in.
Okay, and I want you to feel free, bro. If you feel like something you want to chime in on, don't be afraid to cut us off. You know what I'm saying? Just do it respectfully and jump into the conversation, my brother. The floor is yours. Anu. Go ahead, bro.
Yeah. So
cool.
Yeah. So you know what I'm saying? Like, so I look at our people, and then I look at the plight that our people in when it comes to religion, and it's like, damn, why are all of our people at the bottom of the totem pole? And you know, and some people be like, oh, it's unity, oh, it's this, oh, no, it's not. It's called spiritual death. That's what it's called. It's called spiritual death. We are literally in spiritual death. And the reason why we is in spiritual death is because our technology never didn't evolve with our spiritual practices. Now, the white man, he employs his spiritual practices with his technology. He has a culture of fucking death. And that's exactly what he shows you, that he has a culture of death, and he's not half-stepping on the shit that he's doing. So, you know what I'm saying? Our technology, we basically stopped. We stopped. Like, I talk to people, inventors and engineers all the time. You know what their main concern is? Getting their stuff patented. I'm constantly telling them, well, don't you know getting your stuff patented is the same reason why they barred Tesla? They put Tesla on the shelf. I said, look
at places like Shark Tank, you get your stuff patent, and then somebody with more money than you come and buy you out, and then
come buy you out.
Yeah, right.
And of course, why wouldn't they? You did all the brain work. Why wouldn't somebody with more money come around and buy it from up under you?
Right.
That's the more intelligent thing to do. So, you know, I try to explain to them, like, listen, you need to circulate the technology first. Circulate the technology first. And once the technology is out here, they can't do shit because you can't recall it. The technology out here, what the fuck they gonna do? Nothing. They gotta adjust. They gotta adjust to the fact that this is a phenomenon out here. You know what I'm saying? But
that's what happened. Like you said, our people and other people, they were focused on what they was focused on, and at the time when they ruled I mean, I know it wasn't in totality of the white man, because I know Chinese created gunpowder and all this and that. But once the white man got his hand on gunpowder and he invented, you know, the handgun, the long gun, the rifle and all that, us being as bad as we were with spears and rocks and all this and that, that technology ended up taking over what we were able to do. But I want to ask you this though, because earlier you said that. And I know you're not putting yourself in this religion as a totality. You was just combining that with Scientology. So knowing that what you said earlier about us being in peace and us fitting, getting our emotions under attack and all that, if our people were following that, and let's say that was their spiritual religion, or we'll just say spiritual belief system, since people don't like religion. If they were actually following, trying to keep peace with not only our people, but every people that we came in contact with, then why would they try to find a way of technology in order to conquer another people when they were actually trying to live in peace? How would you address that?
Okay, well, first, dealing with science and dealing with religion. Religion is going to teach you peace. That's true. But when it comes to science, the rule of self-preservation is always first.
Survival of the fittest.
Survival of the fittest. That rule right there, you cannot negate that rule. If you are not willing to fucking die and kill for your own survival, then you will be consumed. Okay. Ain't no going around that. So this is what I mean by our technology and our spirituality has to go hand in hand with each other. They have to march at the same beat. You can't let one fall back, because if we be too heavy on technology, then we'll become rigid. We'll become rigid like the Chinese.
Yeah, we'll lose morality. Yeah,
we'll lose our humanity.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? But if we too spiritual, we'll end up becoming pacifists, and people will just step on us.
Yeah, being oppressed.
You see what I'm saying? So we got to run both of them at the same pace, and one cannot overlap the other one. They both have to be neck and neck at all times. You know what I'm saying?
So how do you feel about Jesus being a religious person, but at the same time saying, if you don't have a sword, go sell your clothes and get you a sword, man.
I think Jesus was a wise man for saying something like that.
Okay.
I believe he was a wise man. You know what I'm saying? And I want to point this out to a lot of people. I don't have no issue with Jesus. I don't have no issue with you being a Hebrew.
Right.
I got a problem with your religion overseeing all of the other things that's important to us as a people. That's what I have a problem with.
Right.
I have a problem when we can build churches, synagogues, and mosques and not build clinics, hospitals, and schools. That's where I got the problem with religion.
No, I don't know about the mosques, but I just told you a second ago. When it comes to the church, though,
the
church had all those all those hospitals in the neighborhood. Those are Christians, you know. All those HBCU colleges, all those high schools, junior high school, elementary. I'm not saying every one of them, but not only are the majority of them started by Christians. The whole concept of public hospitals and schools was started by religious people, you know.
Unfortunately, those institutions are not ran by our people at all whatsoever.
Our people. Okay.
Yeah, they're not ran by our people whatsoever. So like even like we got a school up here called Pomosia, right? And it's an African themed school, but it still teaches a public school curriculum.
Right.
So even though it's African centered, they're still getting taught the bullshit.
Christopher Columbus discovered America.
They still getting taught the bullshit. You see what I'm saying? Even though we got St. Alexian up the street, even though we got DePaul Hospital, St. Mary's, all of that shit, our people don't run that shit. And if Big Pharma come in and say you niggas is taking all these vaccines, y'all taking them vaccines.
Yeah,
you see what I'm saying?
That's true.
So our people not controlling that shit, they just working there.
Right.
And even if they did own it, they still gotta be in compliance with the CDC.
Right.
So it's like we riding the fence with that shit. It's like we're not doing that shit on our own. And this is one of my things, and I'm gonna throw this out here for the rest of the community. With this conscious community being as big as it is, and it has grew expeditiously in the past 10 years, for it to be this big, why don't we have a unified medical coalition of conscious people? Why don't we have a unified medical coalition for our own people through the conscious community? There's no reason why in every major city there isn't an underground medical institution in every single hood. All of those women that's doing the CNAs, RNAs, and all of that shit, why they not teaching that shit at home to the children and hosting classes in the neighborhood, teaching them kids, hey, niggas be getting shot every day. Maybe you could teach them how to do it, to make a tourniquet.
I can answer that, bro. I can answer that. A lot of these dudes, I don't know what your idea of the conscious community is, but for my idea of the conscious community, the reason why we don't have that, according to like the Sidnettas and all them people and all that, is because they really not for us, bro. Like like I ain't trying to shun nobody race or none of that. Like you said, everybody is really one humankind, but like people like Sarnetta and all them, they not even us. They not black. These people Dominican and all other, all other nationalities, but these are the leaders of the conscious community. And these people are just like white people. They care more about the money and lining their pocket, trying to get the next Benz and the next, I got the baddest chick in the game wearing my chain, rather than doing some of that stuff you said. That not only is that stuff secondary to them, they don't even care about that stuff, man. They care more about them their own circle than they do that stuff, bro.
Yeah, and that's really a shame, bro, because we have the potential, because it's enough intelligence for us to like actually pull that off. Like one of the things that we talk about in Naga is food, clothes, shelter, economics, and defense. This is the five pillars of any community, any nation, any tribe. And if you are not covering all five of those areas, then you are always going to be at the bottom of the totem pole, begging and asking for help. So with that being said, we need to put in play a national treasury. We don't have a national treasury. Our national treasury belongs to the fucking Federal Reserve, and the Federal Reserve belongs to the IMF. So we don't even have,
and that belongs to the UN.
You see what I'm saying? So what I'm in telling these people is, listen, the government will sit here and take hundreds and hundreds of dollars out of your check every fucking week.
They do mine. They take them.
They do.
I'm at work right now.
All I'm saying is this: can we, as a conscious community, can we get 1 million people, 1 million conscious people, to say, you know what, we're gonna donate $40 a month into this treasury account for our people, and that treasury account can build everything that we need, any institution that we need. That treasury account can do it within a year. We'll already be damn near $1 billion company.
With all the intelligent minds that are in the conscious community, I'm not in the conscious community, but I came in knowledge of it since 2008. Why do you think what you said hasn't happened, or at least took the steps to happen?
Because our people intrinsically have a severe disdain and distrust for each other. Because when we are in positions of power, or when individuals are in a position of power, they misabuse the power and misappropriate the money. And that's the reason why our people are afraid to even invest with our own. But this is my solution to it. Shoot them niggas. When they fuck up the money, do them just like you do any other nigga on the street and smoke them.
And if I could bring a little,
the next person that step up to take that position, they're gonna be like, okay, well, here go the pictures of the last nigga who fucked up. You know what I'm saying? Do you want to end up like him?
Let me bring a little clarity to what you said. For all y'all ex-Christians, y'all may be familiar with this story. In the Bible, they made an agreement that everybody who was a Christian was gonna meet, and they was gonna sell their land, sell their property, sell their stuff, and they was gonna all meet, together, and everybody was gonna put everything that they had into the pot. Two of the richest people that was in that meeting, they sold all their stuff, but they didn't put everything into the pot. And what happened is they end up, like you said, getting killed. Right?
Yeah, that's awful.
That's funny you said that, bro. That's funny you said that, bro. That's actually in the Bible. Go ahead.
Hey, look, but I'm gonna throw that out there too, bro. I was raised Christian. I was raised Christian. I was damn near Jewish growing up. We used to observe Passover in the whole 9 yards. So when y'all hear me talk in reference to the Bible, it's because that shit's in me. My mother raised me on that. So you know what I'm saying? Just like the book tell you that if you raise a child in the ways of the Lord,
train him up in the way he should go.
Train him, and he won't stray. Well, I have not strayed away from the principles of the Bible.
Right.
I have the same exact principles of the Bible. I just don't believe in they false ass book God. Yeah, I don't believe in that shit. Now, when it comes to the principles of the book, I believe that. I believe those are universal principles.
Universal.
You can go anywhere in this world, and those principles will keep you and hold you dear. So I honestly believe that shit. I don't believe we all gotta be comedic. We all gotta be more. I don't believe none of that. You know what I'm saying?
And based off you saying that, I'm not too familiar with y'all. I've been knowing Greg before I knew who any of y'all was. I've been familiar with him probably about 4 or 5 months now. And based off what you just said, I think that's one of the reasons why, and correct me if I'm pronouncing it wrong, Naga?
Right, Naga.
Based off what you just said, I think that's one of the reasons why y'all get some of the hate that y'all get, because, you know, when it comes to the conscious community, it's all, you know, pro-black this and black this, black that, and this, that. But then y'all come through saying, we could unify. It don't matter if they believe in this. It don't matter if they believe in that. But when we come to the conscious community, it's like, okay, we all can unify, but not if you're a Christian. Or you can unify, but not if you're a Hebrew. Or you can unify. And something that I woke up on today, and I want you to address this, and I'm gonna give you as much time as you need to address this. I woke up today, and I'm not going to go into details, but you know, you were part of the back chat that I'm a part of.
Right.
And a lot of people were saying a lot of things about my brother Greg. I ain't gonna say what it is, man.
Right.
And I just felt like, dang, man, what's going on with this? And I saw a couple of you brothers not trying to defend what was said, but defend the unity that y'all have in it.
Right.
Could you go in a little bit more on that, bro? And set the and I don't even want you to just go in, bro. I want you to set the record.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing, bro. Okay, so Greg was never a Naga per se. Like, in order to get Naga, you got to go through tribunal and a background check. We're not fucking around with weirdos anymore. So you like, it's been like that for about a year. So we're not accepting applications. We haven't extended no olive branches to anyone. So there has been no new members in Naga, and Greg is most definitely was one of our supporters. We really appreciate that, man. You know what I'm saying? And he was a brother to us, and we gonna always treat him like a brother, regardless of what his extracurricular activities are. We gonna always treat him like a brother. But I can love you and not respect you. Okay. I can love you and not respect you. And I love the brother, but I just don't respect his choice in actions.
Make it clear. Make it clear right now. Who are the members of Naga?
Well, actually, it's a lot of members of Naga, but the only ones that y'all see are the ones who are active in debating. So you see King Naga, you see Ruben, you see Dame, you see Matt Dewberry, you see Shekmek the Goddess, you see her name She or Queen Naga, Shayna. We got a lot of members. You see what I'm saying? And a lot of them don't debate. We bring our women into our groups with us. So our wives are in our groups with us. Like, we don't do we on the phone all night, nigga, talking to people. No, our wives on the phone with us.
Y'all hear that? Wives. Go ahead, bro.
Yeah. Our wives are on there with us. So they're engaged in what we're doing. My wife, she records music with all of us, and we all do similar things. You know what I'm saying? We do business with each other. We plan trips with each other. We doing family shit. In Naga, we doing family shit. I don't know what all these other groups doing. They debating and stuff. That's cool. But in Naga, we doing family shit. It's family first. That's our whole motto. So when it comes to my brother Greg, I really hate how that shit panned out for him. I was not defending Greg saying his actions were okay. What I was saying was, y'all came in here and bashed it. Here's a guy who y'all break bread with on a daily basis. And instead of you coming to that man like a man and asking him, what is the deal? What is this bullshit? Instead, y'all came in the back, throwing insults, ridiculing the guy. And it's like, y'all haven't even heard his side of the story. What if it is just made up? What if it is just somebody hacking his shit? What if somebody is just fucking with this guy? We in 2021, that can possibly happen. You see what I'm saying? So just like I told Greg, like, listen, Naga got a lot of shit going on. We can't even deal with that type of situation right now. So, you know, you're gonna have to figure that out on your own, and you need to come with some compelling evidence to exonerate yourself. This is what I told him. You need to come with something that's gonna exonerate yourself. We can't be twisted up in that. You know what I'm saying? We already got kooks and weirdos and shit that we done beat up and put the fuck out of Naga. We not trying to add more. So you got to deal with that on your own. So I'm not shunning the brother, but nigga, that foot stuff is funny as fuck. So excuse the hell out of me if I crack a joke every now and then, a foot joke every now and then. I'm gonna crack a joke because the shit funny. The shit's funny.
Hey, y'all heard what the brother said, man. This is on record, man. The brother is showing y'all what it is, man. He's showing y'all the unity. He's showing y'all the separation, man. For all those people that's in the back chat, y'all are getting it from the horse's mouth. We don't want to hear no he say. We don't want to hear no he say, no she say. None of y'all was there. None of y'all know the inner workings of what this brother know. So you can only take his word. Unless you have receipts, take his word for it.
Hey, and that's why I'm telling you about he need to come with some compelling evidence, because the evidence against him is astounding. So that's the reason why we made the move to separate ourselves, even though we love the brother, but at the same time, it's like, nigga, you doing some questionable shit that we don't agree with. And if anybody knows Naga, once you go against the overall zeitgeist of the group, you gotta go. You gotta go. We don't do certain things. I'm gonna just put this out there, and I'm not saying that this what that brother was guilty of, but we don't do the LGBT stuff at all, period.
Period.
We don't do molestations, pedophiles. We don't, none of that. You can't be none of that around us, period. Nothing whatsoever. Naga's main mission is to protect them women and children. And we're tired of coming in contact with women who have been defiled and traumatized by these disgusting ass men in this community. You know what I'm saying? We tired of this shit. We tired of hearing that same story. So at some point in time, we got to stand up and say, you know what? We gonna bust for her. We gonna bust for these children. If y'all touch them, y'all gonna have problems with us. And you know what I'm saying? A lot of people get on Naga head because we are really headstrong about not only protecting the woman, but putting her out front so she can speak for herself. She's a goddess. She's supposed to be able to speak for herself. You don't control your woman. You don't put a handle on your woman. Fuckers, you got a horse or something? You know what I'm saying? You got a slave? She just gonna bow to you and go sit in the corner? We don't date slaves. We don't date servants.
Real talk.
And she sit next to us thinking she has to be a warrior queen just like we warrior kings. My woman shoot better than me. She could get the pistol or the bolt action 30-aught nigga and use the shit better than I can.
My wife, I've been my wife 20 years.
Same thing with Ruben's wife. She got the hammer and she uses it, and they stay in the damn range. So all women are gonna bust you up. They not playing with you. And if the job ain't done by the time we get there, we're gonna finish you. You see what I'm saying? So we don't do the passive submissive women. We like aggressive women. We like aggressive women that's powerful and not afraid to speak up and do their own thing. We love to step back and just sit there and watch all women got fat asses, so we don't mind stepping back and watching them do their thing. That shit's a turn on. Now to a lesser man, to a beta man, he see that, oh, y'all need to keep her quiet. Oh, you need to put some reins on her. No, we not doing none of that. You just better not touch her, and you better not say nothing wild to her. You see what I'm saying?
I supposed to have a debate coming up last week, and I'm not trying to get you to team up with me on this, but I supposed to have a debate last week with Captain 10K of ISUPK, and one of the topics was, you know, according to the New Testament, can we have multiple wives? And I did a prelim on some of the stuff that I was going to use, and it was some of the stuff that you just said. It's like y'all manipulating weak-minded women in order to do the stuff that y'all doing. And after these verses that I laid down in the prelim to hype up the debate ended up getting canceled. And I don't think that it was canceled for the very reason that he claimed it was canceled for. I think it was canceled for the topic that I had coming up with how they do they women, you know, and some of the stuff that you just spoke on just kind of sparked my electromagneticism, you know, all that. And yeah, I just want to throw that out there. It's like, yeah, man, I've been with my wife 20 years. Like you said, my wife, we both licensed, trained, all that. We busting that fire, y'all. We are, I know.
Hey.
Now it's still order. I'm the head, and she's the female, but it's not order to the fact to where my wife can't say nothing. My wife can't speak her mind. In other words, my wife can't be who she is. Because like, nah, that's trash, man.
Yeah, nah, that's garbage. And I'm gonna tell you like this: I'm the head of my house, but you could be brain dead and still be alive. So that shit don't really mean nothing.
Okay, see.
But the woman, she the heart of the household. Whatever tempo that heart beating at, that's the tempo that body can move at. So if you got a woman that has a low tempo and she's not aggressive, she's not that go-getter like that, yeah, the tempo in your house is gonna be low. You know what I'm saying? And you might not get very much shit done. You know what I'm saying? But when your head and your heart is working together,
man, powerful.
You can't beat it. You can't beat it. So it's like that woman, she really is our spiritual power. She's your spiritual power reservoir. You know what I'm saying? A good woman behind you will empower any. I mean, let me tell you this, man. When we was in Naga at first, before we brought our wives in, Naga was fine. It was cool. It was great. Like, you know, we were dissertating information, talking and stuff like that. But when we included our wives, brother, the shit just blew up. It just blew up. And like everything just started to go right. We started producing content. We started doing things. And here I've been in this group for well over a year at that time. And it's like I had never seen the group move like this until the women got there. Once the women got there, it was a whole nother damn story, bro. And it was like we formed like Voltron, and it was history after that. The same thing happened to me in my business. I do tattoos. I do fairly well with tattoos. But once I integrated my woman into my business, gave her a position, a power, and let her do her thing, she does the booking, she does the paperwork, she do all of that shit. And it leaves me so I can do the work. I'm the one who do the work, so I could just concentrate on the work. My business grew 200%. My business grew 200% when I shut the fuck up and I let that woman do her thing. You see what I'm saying? So it's like I don't even like making moves without even consulting her. Not because I can't do it, but why not have both the left and the right side of the brain working together? So I just don't make no moves without her. I don't make decisions and shit without her. It ain't that I can't do it, but what the fuck for if we're a unit?
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So I employ everybody. If your wifey ain't in this shit with you, get her in that shit with you, and watch how y'all relationship blossom. As long as y'all not in competition with each other, watch how y'all relationship blossom. Watch how much prosperity come your way once you put your woman into the mix of it, bro. A lot of people just don't even recognize the woman's power. You know what I'm saying? But Naga do. Like, even when you take the word Naga is actually feminine. Naga is feminine. But we represent the great mother, the divine mother, the divine wisdom.
Where does that name come from?
We put her up front.
Where does that name come from? How did y'all come up with that name?
Well, Naga is a manifestation throughout all of Earth culture. I cannot put my finger on where it started. I can't put my finger on where it ends. All I know is that you can trace Naga throughout all of our civilizations. I can go up into Russia. And find Naga for you. In fact, there's a Russian god called Naga, and he's the black god of death. You see what I'm saying? So it don't even matter where the hell I go with this Naga thing. That's where it leads you. But everybody in Naga identify with Naga in different ways. Like my brother Ruben, he's straight Igbo. So yes, he does trace his Naga, if this even a real thing, he traces his Naga ship through Naga Ori, which is the original name of Nigeria, Naga Ori. You see what I'm saying? I identify with Naga because I am a Niga. I am a male member of the Ga people, and that's what they call us, Niga, the Niga. You see what I'm saying? So we all identify with it in different ways. We got one brother that's in Naga. He's half Japanese. He's literally half Japanese. They follow the Naga. They follow the serpent queens. They literally follow this shit.
So that's what it is.
You know what I'm saying?
Serpent Queens.
Yeah, the serpent queens. The Nagasaki. Like they follow it. So they identify with, when we say Naga, it might mean something different to them, but they identify with it. Like we got a Cambodian brother, straight Naga. He's straight Cambodian. He's not black. He's not white. He's Cambodian. And he's straight Naga. And he identifies with Naga because it's in his culture. You see what I'm saying? And it's like, I could take this joint all the way, all over. I can go South Africa, Ngozi. Ngozi is another word for Naga. I could go to East Africa with the Nagas. I could go to I could go back to South Africa with Naga or Naganga or Ganja, which means healer. You see what I'm saying? So I can go so many places. Naga,
you down with
Naga
healer?
also means they or we, us. You see what I'm saying? So there's so many ways for us to actually attach ourselves to the whole Naga brand. So we just call it Naga, you know, as a general rule. You know what I'm saying? But you know, we could be specific when we say Naga Kushite or Naga Hindu. We could be specific, or he say Naga Ori. We could be specific. I'm saying Niga. I'm being specific. But when I'm saying Naga, I'm just saying in general or a group. So you know, they, we, us, we Naga. You see what I'm saying? So a lot of people can't get with it. They like, oh, well, y'all just mixing shit. Well, it's mixing shit to you. But to everybody else in this group, they identify with it and we all get it. You don't have to get it. We're not trying to force everybody else to be Naga.
Now, I was looking it up as you was talking about it. So yeah, I was just trying to get.
Yeah. If you type in Naga, it's one word. Type in Naga.
I typed it in. It talked about Hinduism and Buddhism, some of the stuff that you.
Oh no! I'm talking about some whole other shit. Type in Naga. It's one word.
Okay, Naga.
Nga.
Nga. Naga. Okay, Nga.
Or Nganga or Ganja, depending on your pronunciation.
Okay. I'm just reading from the surface. You know, I'm not.
Yeah. Wiki, it don't matter.
Okay. Naga. It says. Here we go. It says. Well, they put an A in front of it, so Naga is an Indian language romanticized series directed by. I don't know how you pronounce it.
No, that's not the right one. You spell it Nga.
Yeah, I put Nga, but when I typed in Wikipedia, it put an A in front of the Nga.
No, it's just supposed to be Nga. Just Nga.
Okay, let me take off the width and just.
And it should take you directly to South African people.
Okay. Well, this is probably actually this is written in another language. So let me find an English one. That probably is South African. What I just pulled up.
Yeah. Hello.
Huh?
Yeah. It should be like one of the first ones you come across.
Okay, hold up. Okay, so Nga. Okay.
One word.
Okay, there we go. Naga is I might get that wrong, Kakongo language term. Is that right?
Congo. That's right.
Okay, there we go. Okay. For herbalists or spiritualist healers in many African societies, and also in many societies of the African diaspora, such as those in Haiti, Brazil, and Cuba, it is derived from ganga
Ganga,
and
ganja, right?
Proto-Bantu, which means medicine. Okay.
Boom, right?
Okay.
Now, are we not the African diaspora?
That's what and what they and
We
what they
are the
say.
African diaspora. Now, keep in mind, a mass majority of us actually do come from the Caribbeans. Before they shipped the slaves to the United States, they were stopping the Caribbeans first. Bro, this shit get deep, man.
Yeah,
This
see,
shit get deep, bro.
I never heard of it until I met y'all. I've never heard of Naga until I met y'all.
And like I said, it gets deeper. Like when you go into the article and stuff and get to reading about it, it gets deeper. You will see like it's different versions of it all over Africa, all over the Americas. There's different versions of it. Some people pronounce it differently. Hey, we not here to correct your pronunciation. Right. We just here to connect dots. You know what I'm saying? So as you see, like one of these ones you click on, and it just keep on going on and on about, you know, them being healers and stuff like that. Well, the original God people, I come from the God people. The original God members were priests, and priests are healers. Healing in ancient time was associated with the snake. The snake is also associated with medical practices. Back to being a healer again, back to being a priest, and it's a full circle. You see what I'm saying? So it's like even once you understand the concept of what we doing, we not running around trying to be Egyptians. We not running around trying to be Hebrews. We trying to be who we are according to our ancestral thrones and stools. This is who we are. We collectively saying that we Naga. We not waiting on nobody to name us. We're not waiting on nobody to slap a title on us. We put the title on us. You see, and that's one of the things that our people got to get better at, man. You got to start doing that shit for yourself, man, and not allowing somebody else to do the footwork for you.
That's what's up, man. I know you said before we started you only had about an hour to rock with me, bro. So I don't want to keep you too long, my brother, bro. I really appreciate the conversation that me and you had tonight. I know me and you don't know a lot about each other, but based off the conversation you had with me tonight, I will hopefully think that you would think that I'm a cool brother, just normal like anybody else, my brother. And
man, this is a very good Discord, and it's like we like I said, we had really good back and forth. It ain't no negativity. It ain't no cussing each other out. Yeah. I appreciate that. I appreciate the fact that you never talked to me in a condescending tone or a condescending manner. Right. That's one of the big gripes that I be having with some of the fellas in the back. It's like, bro,
I'll be saying
y'all be talking to be crazy as fuck, and I don't be wigging out on you niggas. But some of the shit y'all niggas be saying, nigga, I be ready to smack niggas over that shit. So
bro, before you came into the chat, man, I was the punching bag. You know, me being a Christian and all this and that. And just like you, I never turned up on none of them dudes, man. I just looked to the left or blew it away. But I just don't know what it is about people who claim to want to unify black people, but then meet black people who don't believe what they believe, and then
I don't get it. They be like, oh, we need unity. Okay, we unify. As soon as we unify, y'all cope. Damn.
That's crazy to me.
Like, damn, we can't win for losing, bro. We can't win for losing, bro. Like, damn, y'all want us cult-like, or do you want us just individual ass niggas running around here doing our own thing? Which one?
Doing our own thing, like right. It's like, what do you want, you know? And like I say, I totally feel you on that, man. And I appreciate you coming on with me tonight, bro. I really appreciate this dialogue.
I appreciate you too, man.
Like I like how civil it was, man. And as I said previously, man, for y'all listening to the video, y'all dudes who, or all females who get emotional, get your panties in a bunch, all that, me and Anoop just showed y'all how two brothers on different sides can have a conversation and disagree without all the BS, man. We don't have to have the BS, man. Like, and these type of conversations is what Paradigm Shift is here for. We can get turned up, we can do a little rah-rah, but at the end of the day, man, we need to grow up, man. You know, we don't need to be out here 30, 40, 50, 50-year-old dudes and older, man, still out here acting like we're in high school, man. Like, we can be on different sides of the fence. We can disagree without being disrespectfully disagreeable, man. Like, let's grow up, man. And if we don't never get to meet each other and be able to unify in person, let's at least get on this platform and not only show our own people, but show these other people that we all are not just thugs and cussers and we don't get along with each other and we can't agree without disagreeing, man. Like, if y'all really are pro-black as y'all say y'all are, show it, man. So I just want to say again, man, that has been Anoop Rock. I have been NoBoDy. I always trying to tell everybody about somebody who can save anybody. This has been Paradigm Shift TV 314, where the truth lives. We appreciate y'all for tuning in, and we'll catch y'all in the next one. And that's peace.
Peace.
I appreciate that, bro. Like, real talk, man. I really feel like